from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. Okay, I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No verse. Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently. Make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time? Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
back. It's good to know you're still with us on Atlantic Television Network. It's still ATN Blowout, and I told you after the break we'll introduce our guest. We have with us in the studio Honorable Abel Abraham. He's a business developer and a social entrepreneur. It's a pleasure having you today.
Thank you very much, Edido.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You look good.
Thank you very
I
much.
must
You
say.
too.
Thank you. All right, let's dive straight to the stories we have. The Anambra State government and the organized labor in the state have in the interim resolved the knotty issue of the state's minimum wage for its workforce. The marathon meeting with the labor was led by Governor Chukwuma Soludo on the side of the government and the chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress in the state, Comrade Humphrey Wafo, on the side of labor. Briefing reporters at the end of the meeting, Wafo said 7 points raised were discussed and trashed, adding that a tripartite committee would be set up to smoothen the grey areas, as he also mentioned that the Anambra State government has been complying with the minimum wage law. Wafo said it was a very successful meeting. All the executive members of the NLC and TUC participated in the meeting. Among the highlights were suspension of the contributory pensions, including those in the local government areas. He has also set up a committee to investigate why monies deducted from workers were not remitted, and the committee will report back to the government in 8 weeks. He said the governor has also set up another committee that will look into the issue of increasing the wages of the workers, and the committee will comprise of the NLC, TUC, and NOJ, as well as government officials, including the Accountant General of the state. When I saw this story yesterday, because of the heading, I thought it was the Labour and federal government story, and I was so eager to find out what yesterday's 4 p.m. meeting resulted to. But let's also get your reaction to the story. Anambra State government has been stated that they have been keeping to the minimum wage law. Let's hear you.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that Professor Soludo, His Excellency, is doing very well. He's trying to create a pathway for other governors to tread. And I must commend him, because I think other states are shying away from having even a closed-door meeting with the NLC.
Why do you think they're shying away from it?
I'm hoping, I'm praying this thing should come to reality, because most times after setting up all these committees and committees, because most of them, they put in years of work, and at the end, they feel like what they put, those years they put into their work, they are not getting it as much as other people in the other sectors are getting. So it's not just about the NUC increment of salary, minimum wage. We should look into the pension scheme more like a way of, appreciating these people after they are done rendering their services. You
mentioned a reform of the pension scheme. What reform are you referring to?
We have a pension when after you've retired, you get your payment as a monument monthly. I'm looking at where people, because the process, the regulations, and how to assess these stuff is very cumbersome. Like, most persons end up being frustrated.
Oh, really?
They end up being frustrated. So some of them like, okay, since I'm alive, let me benefit from what I'm working. It's not when I'm dead, So they want to enjoy for when they are still alive. So the government should get professionals and experts. Let's look into this. If there are ways we can, once you're retired, you can have 70% of it, or we help you and set up an investment. Because I believe why the Pension Act came in, it was to help people, because when you're giving your gratuity and all that stuff, you just went off and blew off your money. Most person will just get 50 million. What they do, 419 people will just come and get the money off from them. And some of them will go into Ponzi scheme because they just want to meet up those years of services, and they want to invest immediately and make so much money. So I believe the government can bring in experts. You get 70% of your money, then the other one spread across, because after years of service, a lot of them don't have much years again to live, and you see they end up not even reaping the fruit of their labor. Their next of kin will come and blow off
So you feel the percentage that the pensioners are giving first, you know, they are giving a particular percentage first off before they are paid monthly. You feel the percentage is not enough?
It's too small.
It's too small?
It's too small.
Okay.
Because I believe at that age where you've retired and most of them don't have the ability and the energy to do other jobs. You understand? So most of them, if you notice, I think we'll go to there, to that aspect where the police people were
being able to pay the money, or a situation of Nigeria not wanting to pay the money.
Okay, like you said, ready or not ready to, or wanting or not, you understand?
Is it that we don't have it they don't have that money, or we're not willing to pay?
Let's be realistic with us. They don't have that. Nigeria does not have that money to pay. If we venture into doing that in the next 2-3 years, we can't sustain it. Now, if you look into most of the budget and lots of things Nigerians are doing, if you check, most of them are being financed through loan facilities from China and the rest of them. So, looking at a country that we are not producing, majority of the things we are using here, we are importing, we are buying. So, all our incomes, everything the table before their personal needs. I think a lot of things we are complaining will just become a thing of the past. So the labor, I will appeal to them because I am also part of the whole process too. So I will appeal to them to bring down the expectation, because I'm not seeing that happening very soon.
When we talk about this story, we always like to refer to the amount that the Labour has proposed. What about the amount the federal government has proposed? If this is it's too much, let's also take a look at the amount the federal government has proposed.
Those people are just trying to...
Which of the people now?
The government.
Oh. To get things, we believe that it should be a particular amount and it should not various products. You take it back to petrol.
The salary,
yes, you take it back to petrol. It's now expensive. Transportation is now expensive. So transporting these from the village down to you where you're buying it costs something that is really, really affecting a lot of Nigerians. But when we come to Labour, ASU, even though we're not focusing on ASU now, we're always having strikes. These people are always going on strike. How do we put a stop to this issue of Labour always striking? And when you check their demands, it's usually for the welfare of their workers, something that seems basic. So how do we completely put an end to this in-season strike from Labour?
From the angle of economy and business, I would say, because I run businesses too. So I would say if a COI or an organization is not making profit, you cannot sustain the workforce. There is no magic. If you're not making profit, you can't sustain the workforce. It's either you shorten it or you close down. So Nigeria is in that state whereby we are not making profits. Everything we are doing is from the oil. And okay, the other sectors, I don't want to delve into that. The other sectors, like the natural resources, are being mined at state level, and whereas the oil is being mined at the federal level. I'm using the federal level. Whatever that comes from this side is federal. Whatever that comes from the other side is their state. So have enough money to sustain their welfares and this stuff. If we don't make a lot, we don't generate a lot, we are to build a federal highway. You go to China and sign, like the one we have on the east-west road. Some sections are completed, some sections uncompleted. So we don't have that fund, and the government don't want to say the truth. Instead of them to work out modalities for we to start generating and producing and encouraging these local industries, and give us policies that will enable them, loan facility for them to build the economy. Because if you enable the local industries to produce more, you are strengthening our economy. And so by doing, they will be paying tax, and you understand. So the government is not ready. They are just there to pick what they want to pick and leave the scene. So as much as we keep doing this, we'll keep running the cycle. And it all falls back. We'll keep talking about ASU and NSC because the government making sales. Even if you have 5 sales girls, you won't be able to pay them. they will make protests, we want increment, but we are not making sales. Do you want me to go and carry money from another place and pay you? That means you're taking loan to pay salaries. Who is going to repay these loans when we are not still making profit and we are not making profit?
From this particular one, but let's move forward. Retired police officers under the aegis of Contributory Pension Scheme on Tuesday stormed the National Assembly to protest several months of unpaid pensions by the federal government, carrying placards by the Mopo Gate entrance of the National Assembly and calling on the federal government to remove them from the Contributory Pension Scheme. Some of the placards read, NPF pension defrauding police retirees, SOS. Police officers are dying in penury under the Contributory Pension Scheme, and CPS is a death sentence against police. This is what the placards read. The retirees, representing various state chapters, however, lamented the severe hardship they faced due to the failure of the National Pension Commission to pay their entitlements. In their words, and I quote, this scheme has sent a lot of our retirees to the grave. We have a bill here, bill to exit contributing pension scheme. That bill had been here for over 2 years. It has passed first reading, second reading. We came here for public hearing, but till today, nothing is happening and nothing is done. But in a swift reaction, we had the Vice Chairman on Police Affairs, Senator Yunusa Akintunde, APC Oyo Central, who addressed the protesters on behalf of the Senate. And it disclosed that the National Assembly was currently holding a meeting with police authorities to resolve this problem. I was reading this story and so on, and the person was like, they just said that as damage control. Do you also think the same thing?
Yes, you know, I'm a grassroots somebody. I don't want to use the word politician. A grassroots. I use the word somebody because I like, doing my things in the grassroots. So, whenever you see politicians come up to tell you forget it. It's damage control, like you said. It's damage control. But then again, I want to, if they have my way of advising these people, I will tell them to just chill.
Who should chill now?
The retired police officers.
The retirees should chill?
Yeah, why?
They've been chilling for some time now.
Now,
for 2
because
years, according to
their main focus, their main agitation is to remove them from the pension
Yes, the contributory pension scheme.
Now, they are citing the military, the SSS, and the intelligence unit that are being exempted from the scheme because from section 2.1 section doing there. So if you want the government to exempt you guys from this PENCOM, that means we are going to create another pension board that will take care of the police system. It's the same thing. What we should be talking about is what I was saying at the first that we should look at how we can give them a bigger percentage after they have retired, so they can go into investment or do some other things for themselves. Because most of them are complaining that they are dying because they can't access their phone. For example, just like you're sitting, mind you have this business. You understand?
Yes.
You're like, I have 1 billion now.
I've actually spoken to some pensioners who have complained about the same thing. I'm an adult.
Yes.
Why are you keeping
Why are you making me look like I can't take decisions for myself?
Yes, I should be able to take decisions.
They should come up plain that's what they want, not them asking for being exempted from the scheme, because there is no how.
They have their reasons. If they're asking to be exempted, it's because they have analyzed
if we exempt you
everything.
from the scheme, how are you going to get regulated? Because the military you are citing that we are exempted from the act, they have their pension board. They have the pension board. Now they even during February this year, they introduced an verification process to verify over 11,000 military retirees, because the physical verification was more cumbersome and difficult for them. Okay. So you can use your mobile phone and and verify yourself and get your stuff. So it's the same thing. It's just the same thing. So we should be agitating, or you use the word agitating because it's not militancy. We should be, calling that the government should at least increase the percentage of what you get at a lump sum after you've retired, so you can go into business or something and aid these people, not them getting little portion. And most of them, after retirement, some don't even stay up to 10 years because they don't engage in active.
It looks like you're saying to think about the fact that the pensioners now, I'm getting it all mixed up now. Okay, you talked about the fact that yes, some of them get defrauded of their monies if they are giving the huge amount. You also talked about the fact that some of them are not spending the money right.
Yes.
And that was like you making a case.
No, a recommendation to the government to, instead of telling them, okay, we're going to give you this at so time and so, because most of them 20 years. So this mindset of the next of kin is going to take that money. He's killing a lot of them. Like Christopher, the former retired officer, he was complaining that most of them are dying. They have bills to offset. They want to do a lot of things, but they don't have access to these funds.
Is it really the lump sum they don't have access to that they are protesting against, or the fact that even the factions, they're not even getting it? Because we saw unpaid pensions.
The fraction, like, I was saying that the process of assessing this stuff is it's very cumbersome. Even as a private sector employee that just retired, going to get it, you sign this other document, you go to this place, you will do this. So they are frustrated. They feel I have a lot of money there and I can't access it. So we should just look how we can adjust a lot of this stuff. These are acts.
I was looking at the story. It was stated that they protested over several months of unpaid pension.
Okay.
So if the lump sum is what is being referred to, it will just be unpaid pension. Now, but several months, it means for several months, these people have not been paid. That's what they are protesting. So should we still be in that place where we'll be having such talks at this time? Because we've had this over and over and over again, where pensioners, retirees are not paid their monies. They have to owe.
Topic is they want to be exempted from the...
Yes, because as they're not being paid for months, probably that's why they're saying, don't pay us fractions anymore. Just give us the whole thing and let us go. Because you're paying us fractions and we're not seeing it months, several months. That's something
that's very worrisome.
For them to actually protest for. We've heard about state governments, the state governors who do not pay pension or who owe
But then
pension,
again,
yes?
if the military board, the SSS and intelligence are being exempted, why wouldn't they exempt the police to have their own pension board? Because I think the police is one of these paramilitary that we interface daily with. So they should be given more preference when it comes to things like this, because we tend to have them do a lot of work in our communities every day. So if looking at this other side of it again, so I think if they are able to control their pension board by themselves, by the police commission, it will be more easier than them going through the pension, the PENCOM, which governs, covers the public and the private sector. So I will also pray the senator give them a listening ear and push it as much as
all right, they have been told that conversations are currently on, so let's get to find out more about this story as it is updated. We'll definitely bring it to you on ATN Blowout. Now to the next story. The federal government says it has initiated a comprehensive review of the basic education curriculum to ensure that it aligns with the evolving needs of the country and global standards. The Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Sununu, announced this during the opening of a 5-day workshop on the review of syllabus of technical examination in Abuja on Wednesday. He said that the strategic move was aimed at enhancing the quality of education, fostering critical thinking, and equipping the students with the necessary skills to thrive in a dynamic world. The world is changing rapidly, he said, and our education system must keep pace with the changes. Sununu said that the review process would encompass various aspects of the curriculum, including content, teaching methodologies, and assessment strategies, which would also integrate modern technology and innovative practices to create an engaging and effective learning environment for our students. It was also stated that more people from different fields will be brought in, to put heads together, and this would. Well, what do you think about this story?
I'm in support of this.
Long awaited?
Yes, yes,
Something
yes.
we'll be waiting for?
Yes, because if you check our secondary school curriculum, it does not even reflect the Nigerian society we find ourselves.
No, it doesn't.
So you're just learning things in abstract.
Oh, okay.
Then we used to hear Obi is a boy, Obi is a, and most times I was like, this Obi.
Who is Obi?
Instead of you using my classmate, like for example, Edinoye is a girl, Abraham is a boy. That's where you can relate to that. You understand? You keep telling me about Obi, and in Nigeria we have the Hausas, the Igbos, and different. So when you are like Obi, now you understand. So we should ensure the. So no, why I'm saying that because the essence of going to school is to be trained for a particular field, so you can be able to give professional advice services to the society and get paid for it. So when you're being trained in a field or a particular profession whereby you can't really practice, you can't relate it to our society, I don't really understand.
No, they have. Did you study sociology?
No, not at all.
Do you
No, not at all. No, I use it as an example.
And sometimes, let me explain. Now that's what you think. There's more to it when you get in. And these guys are not playing like a lot of people think that, they just go to school to dance and play and act drama. No, it is very far from it. So I made this explanation because you mentioned sociology. People who are in this department will know how important that is to the Nigerian society. Unlike we who are outside and looking at it from, from a distance. So that's why I asked you, is it a thing of the curriculum? Should it be changed, reformed?
Yes, it should be changed because the Nigerian society we find ourselves, we more like producing students and into the labor market that are just waiting for already made jobs. So I think there's a need for we to inculcate like they said, technical skills and things that will make these people to enhance their innate potentials, abilities. For example, if you're a born, why I'm using born musician, because there are people that when they're growing up, they just know that they can sing very well without going to music schools. They find themselves doing music, playing the instrument and doing, so this same person, you'll be forcing that person to go and study medicine. Just because you want to have a doctor in your family. So from childhood, you're going to be a doctor. This child now loves singing. You see this child is doing very well in music. If it's in the Western world, they will just push this child to music school. So you don't have any business with medical school. From even before he will finish his elementary music school, he's already a star because he's doing very well. But here again in our curriculum, you see somebody that wants to be an electrician. You say at a tender age, this person is fixing things. You now tell him to go and do marine engineering because you want a marine engineer. So we should look into our curriculum, and we should also have what we call, we should incorporate this child counseling, and I've forgotten about it, child counseling and stuff in primary schools, where we keep studying those kids and see what they have flair and love for. Because most of them, you see them, they love sports. Most of them love, you see the ones that you bring them to chapel, they want to sing, they want to preach. So you encourage them from the tender age. It will help our economy in years to come. Because these people have already found their food. They know what they want to do in life. So they will make sure they do everything possible to be a star in that field. Unlike where someone would just go and study economics just because in school. There was a classmate that the parent told him that you must go to science class, so you must become an engineer, so you must go to science class. And this guy was doing well in drawing. When we want to draw in the class, he was doing well. But the parents were, you must go to science class. And today, that guy is not doing well. So, like the parents want you to be an engineer. So, this whole thing is not about your ego. It should be about what this child wants to do. So, I think if they have a public hearing before, doing this, a lot of people will contribute so we can have the best formula to use in
Bringing up policies, I don't think that's a problem that Nigeria has. But you see implementation, a lot of Nigerians believe that is where the problem is. So how do you see us sustaining this if it comes to play?
First of all, the government have a database of all the schools in Nigeria. And we also, from the Ministry of Education, they always have a supervisor. But lately, I've seen they have not been doing their jobs because when I was in primary school, then in Akwa Ibom State, I do come to see what is happening. So when they are coming, you see everybody will be at their best behavior, to check mates, if the students, the pupils and the rest of them, check the curriculum, if they are following. We check our notes.
And they'll tell you to dress well that day.
Yes, you dress well.
They
will check your notes to know if what they are doing. Then we used to offer ethic, so that, because I didn't even know how to speak my local dialect, so we infused that into I was able to speak my language because of that whole process. So they will check, let me see your ethic class book, notebook. So, okay, they check their scheme and confirm, okay. So if we don't checkmate these things, because in every ministry they have supervisors, if we don't do this, that means whatever we are pushing that we should do will not be implemented and will not be upheld with these people, because just like a check and balance. You must, when you're putting up something, you must have a process to check and balance it. So
you mentioned the fact that you could speak your dialect. You couldn't speak your dialect, but it was infused in the curriculum.
Yes.
And at a point, the languages were taken off the curriculum for, is it primary or secondary school now? But a lot of schools, students are not taught their dialects. They are not taught the native dialect. And now we're looking at advancing technology, which is very important to meet up international.
The idea of you knowing your past, your history, your culture will help you to do better. Because if you know where you're coming from, you know what you can do to better. Because whatever you want to advance is to the betterment of the people. It's not just you. So if it's just you, nobody send you. So whatever you're going to produce, to found, to bring to the world, just like the Facebook, it's not just Mark that is using it. They don't even tend to use it every day. We use it more than him. So whatever you're going to do should be to be at the betterment of the people. So first you must know these people. You must know your history, know what we have been suffering, know where we are coming from. So the idea of removing our culture does not really make any sense, because the Western world have their culture. You go to places like Denmark, Polish, they have you at a certain stage. They will tell you need to wear, you need to dress in somewhat that looks like skirt. You're wearing skirt, so I don't know how they call it. So that's their culture. And once you're dressed that way, people will identify you. Oh, this person is from Polish. This person is, from this country or from this side of the people. So we need the idea of removing our culture from our curriculum. Then we used to have culture, and I don't know if it's culture and people or history and stuff. So we need to have that and modify on it. We are the aspect of why I will also say we should take a lot of it out of is where we have this this segment where
our culture should also be incorporated. Let's go on a short time out now. Where we return, the conversation continues. Please stay with us.
Thank you.
Corruption not in my country.
Kasali, I hope so my car don't ready. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Maybe now you say make I change the meter, make you no read again.
Which time I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody I want send them to. Like Kasali, my electrician, make it come house, call me do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician?
The electrician.
Yes, now.
So you call Kasali electrician, make it come help you adjust your meter, make it for no read again, Abi. So you said you want join people where be say they no want they pay NEPA bill again, Abi. Oga, you no good now. You don't you said you don't they behave like all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change from your motor? What you change from?
Two lights. Fuel gauge. Speedometer.
For what now? You for come out for home my motor. I bet you identify for me.
Okay. Now don't do something we corrupt. And something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
They greet you.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
What you want to buy?
Potato. Small baskets.
But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make her no buy am. Make I show you something. What? What in be this one? Madam, this one now the chemical what they put on for the plantain make her ripe up.
Hey? So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No water, no be chemical.
Madam, water. You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am.
Where you collect that water, drink am.
I just stop finish. See my belly. After it don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
We can drink am now. At the sell and plantain, I go come put am for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That's why I talk now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take am.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Get ready! As Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024 at La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Room Calagbo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Hackett.
On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m., inter-school march past competition,
dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers, and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown bouncing castle as we cut the Children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689
and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Hackett, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap am.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I supposed pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord, old man, and they agree give us time? Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, nothing.
True?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just dey jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask go?
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so in no day.
Well, everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
No vex. Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear. I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers. We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000
network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, na this kind behavior dey kill our country. You suppose do things differently, make Nigeria for better.
From Atlantic Television.
And glamorization display in movies, musical videos and skits. In pursuant to Section 6.5 of the NFVCB Act 2004, NFVCA boss made this known while speaking at a national stakeholders engagement and focus on what concerns Nigeria, the pressing issues. That's what the government should focus on, and not taking a look at these things that are happening in the Nollywood. What do you think?
Okay, first of all, I think the Nigeria Broadcast and Film Body, they have guidelines. They have guidelines that governs what you produce, what you air, and the rest of them. So, coming now to bring up new guidelines and listing them that you should not do this, you should not do this, does not show professionalism. Because if you are a body that is vested to govern or guide a certain set of people, you should have a guideline. Or moreover, let's say you update periodically. So if you have those guidelines, you send it to the Actors Guild of Nigeria, the DG and Directors Guild of Nigeria, and the Producers Guild. And these people, before you want to update your guidelines, and you need to involve them. You need to have a round table with those people. Please, we want to take this off. We want to adjust this. We want to adjust this. They have leaders. Now, coming to this part again, this is entertainment. You all know that when we are watching foreign movies, you see the Jackie Chan's fly and kick. Those things are just realities. This is an entertainment stuff we are talking about. So they should have a way of coming to regulate it, and not just saying they should take it off, they should ban. The part that an educational materials to people.
And these kids also, looking at it from the other angle, and some of these kids are one of the reasons, or some of the reasons some of our young boys are growing everywhere. In fact, they make videos when they are doing the rituals for the money. In the river and all of these things that were done in the hidden now are in the open. And our kids are seeing these things. Our kids are online. Our kids are now aspiring to get so much money. You see about
lines, like I said before, they should update.
It's organized by the All Progressives Congress Professionals Forum in Abuja. He said the problems Tinubu met on ground would have created a worse situation if not well handled by Tinubu. The former governor noted that despite the removal of fuel subsidy, Tinubu's administration is bearing the brunt of his decision. And in the words, and I quote, "We all recall how on assuming office, President Tinubu announced the removal of fuel subsidy. But again, for the avoidance of doubt, he did not remove subsidy on PMS. It was not in the latter part of the 2023 budget, but surprisingly, the Tinubu administration has had to bear the brunt of subsidy removal." So in his words, Issa Yagudu has stated that the hardship and the hardship faced by Nigerians is not caused by President Tinubu like a lot of Nigerians believe. Are you one of those Nigerians?
This sort of comes in different angles now, because most person will say this social party, they came into power and we are facing hardship, and the other people like this particular leadership came into power and we are having the main problem is the Nigeria itself is not a producing country. That vision of transglorifying Nigeria into a production country will still continue in our problems. Because if you're blaming Buhari,
he leaves.
And Buhari, when he came in, was blaming Jonathan. Now you're here, you're blaming Buhari, and this other person will leave and still blame, because you don't have solution to the problem. That is telling you that the problem is not just you there. It's about the policies we have been upholding over these past years. Let's fix the country. It's very simple. Promote the local industries and give them the enable environment to do business. Let our economy grow, our home country economy grow. And you see the economy strive. Now, looking at this situation now, they are trying to justify that Tinubu is trying to bring reforms caused by him, but the previous government. Looking at this statement again, when Tinubu was making his speech at the inauguration, you don't just pronounce the removal of a or anything like that at your inaugural speech. He mentioned that henceforth subsidy is over. And you know Nigeria, corn masters, they are everywhere. They will take advantage of that pronouncement. So he would have like, okay, in my 1 year in office, I will be able to remove subsidy. Meaning that the local refineries will start working. We will look for alternatives before removing that stuff. So,
so alternatives should have been looked into.
Yes, before making that pronouncement. And you know these people, you are not ready in the office. You don't have access to some document. You don't even have access to some people. You already made pronouncement, and people start taking, you know, this kind of stuff. New person is coming in, so let's just arrange ourselves for. So these people mess up the whole system. So when he came in, he was like, oh, let's do this. And you can't do that in a period of 2 months or 3 months. That's why we are all going through this whole tough process. The dollar will be dancing like a butterfly, and we all trying to see. It's not just about the government. So I will also say that with the former governor of Bauchi State, Tinubu actually is not the problem. I'm trying to see where he's taking us to. So I just want, maybe after 2 years of his office, I will understand him more. So I don't want to say because I'm not a APC person or no. So I just want to say Tinubu is not the problem, but making that pronouncement at his inaugural day was very wrong, because that's where we all get this whole thing wrong. But then again, the reforms he's putting in place, we are just trying to see how it goes. Because I'm not an economist, I don't know. They know better. And I believe we should give him some time. We should just give him some time. And Nigerians should look towards producing. We should look towards producing, because if we all keep talking about how to make our economy good and we keep importing, you see somebody that wants to start business now, the next thing is going to drop shipping. You want to import from China, you go into Amazon. I don't understand.
That thing
so
is so rampant in our society.
You think you go on WhatsApp, everybody you want to do affiliate marketing, you are just helping the economy, the dollar economy.
But the people do not know. They're looking for ways to make money on their own. Make money at home.
You're making money with the economy of another country because you're trading in dollar. And
now, we have a young person who doesn't have a job.
Okay.
And then he scrolls through Facebook or one of these social media platforms, wants to be able to fend for themselves. And they take this course, just 5K, pay 5,000 naira after they struggle to pay tuition fees on time, according to reports. The students attributed this to the devaluation of the naira, which has made it difficult for them to pay their tuition fees, leading to a breach of visa sponsorship requirements. And as a result, some students have been blocked from their studies. Reported to the Home Office and ordered to leave the UK. The university claims it has no choice but to take this action, citing strict external, and affected students have expressed their distress and disappointment, feeling that the university is being heartless and not providing adequate support. The group of about 60 students who chose to share their names with newsmen banded together to urge the university to offer support after several of